Have my thanks, Commander Shepard. You bought us some time, though probably not much. This isn't over yet.
Who exactly were you again?
Who did you say you were?
Dr. Gavin Archer, chief scientist at this facility, and probably the only one left.
Funny how that works out, huh? All this stuff run by the one guy in charge, and, everyone's dead but you. You know, does make you awfully suspicious, is all I'm gonna say. Maybe shouldn't be so eager to immediately trust you. But anyways, let's see. So, what exactly is the situation? What do we have on our hands here? Some kind of VI that has gotten out of hand.
You owe us that explanation.
This is Project Overlord, an attempt to gain influence over the Geth by interfacing a human mind with a VI. The results have been less than satisfactory.
Yeah, that sounds, first of all, like a terrible idea, based on everything that happened in Mass Effect 1. And given the results we've seen thus far, where everyone is dead and Geth are overrunning this facility, can't exactly say it's been going well.
I'd hate to see what you'd call a disaster.
You can't dismiss the entire project. We did succeed, at least partially. My brother, David, volunteered to serve as a test subject, but his mind couldn't handle the VI connection. He's like a virus now, infecting our networks and seizing control of any technology he finds. It's why you had to destroy the dish. Imagine if his program got off-world.
Okay, lots of questions here. He's infecting stuff like a virus? How does that work?
How does he take control of electronics?
This is a hybrid intelligence the likes of which I've never seen. I don't know where the man ends and the machine begins.
Okay, that's disturbing. And it does seem like, you probably should have thought more about what the potential consequences could have been had you gone through this research project, and, well, because now it seems like you're living out some of the worst-case scenarios that you might have perhaps considered and seen as reason not to go through with said project.
What's the worst-case scenario?
A technological apocalypse.
Oh.
Every machine, every weapon, every computer could be turned against us.
That sounds
hit the extranet,
like an apocalypse, yeah.
It would end.
Yeah, so, maybe you should have thought about this initially and seen that as reason to, not do what you were trying to do? You didn't take any precautions?
You should have considered that before you started the experiment.
We couldn't be expected to account for every outcome. Certainly not the abomination David has become.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing you gotta at least consider, right?
The VI has fortified itself in the main laboratory at Atlas Station. It's in lockdown now.
Second, I thought that person was alive. Do
To
not think so.
enter, you need to manually override security from our facilities in the Prometheus and Vulcan stations.
Override?
How does the lockdown work?
It's a fail-safe procedure in the event of an emergency. Normally, all 3 project leads have to agree to cancel the lockdown. I'm the only one left now. I can give my authorization, but you'll have to manually reset the other 2 yourself.
And what happens if I have to kill your brother?
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Okay. Alright, still more questions, though. Okay, more about the project as a whole.
Tell me more about Project Overlord.
We wanted to turn the Geth's religious impulse into a weapon. When we saw them following Saren, we realized they could be swayed. And if a proper figurehead was created, a virus with a face, if you will, the Geth might be controlled.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold plan.
That's an ambitious undertaking.
It would be the perfect weapon. Victory without casualties. We could avoid war with the Geth altogether. That was the plan, anyway.
Yeah, but you do realize how ridiculously ambitious that was, and the almost sure terrible things that would happen if you messed up, and again, the chances of you messing up, yeah, pretty darn high, I'd argue. Alright, what about the other stations you're saying we need to go to?
Tell me about the Vulcan and Prometheus stations.
Vulcan Station is our geothermal plant. It generates power for the 4 outposts. Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines. We use them for our experiments.
Oh. Yeah, and that also explains, again, how this went horribly wrong. What exactly was your experiment, though?
What went wrong with the experiment?
David volunteered to interface with the VI to give it genuine consciousness.
So it became an
should have
AI.
been safe, but with artificial intelligence, there's no such thing as safe.
Right. I mean, in truth, you shouldn't really be calling it a VI at all, in that case. The difference between VI and AI is that AI is self-aware, and by basically putting a human consciousness into the electronic VI, you are absolutely giving it consciousness, right? So that just seems like a horrendous idea to begin with.
Then you shouldn't have attempted it.
And what if you've never attempted to find the Reapers, Commander Shepard?
It's totally different.
Where would the galaxy
Completely
be then?
false equivalency there.
Sometimes you have to ignore the risks.
Yeah, but see, like, searching out the Reapers was to, like, what was the downside? We potentially get killed. We're risking our own lives. What's the worst that happens? You know, we die, and our squad mates die. We're just sacrificing ourselves in the process. Worst case scenario for you is you start a machine apocalypse, like you were just talking about, and you doom the entire galaxy. So, yeah, you know, that's kind of different. And sure, you make the case, well, Shepard, by messing with the Reapers, would get them all to, could get everyone else attacked by the Reapers, and so Shepard would doom the rest of the galaxy. Like, Reapers want to get rid of Shepard. Reapers are going to get rid of everyone, right? So, other than that, lastly, we just have Atlas Station, which is apparently the primary station where the actual VI is located, question mark?
What can you tell me about Atlas Station?
Atlas Station is the main laboratory where all of our VI experiments take place.
Uh-huh.
It's your final goal once you've overridden the lockdown. It's also where my brother became something else.
Yeah, you do keep hesitating whenever you talk about your brother, as if he's no longer your brother, or as if his name is no longer David. Does seem like he's, still trying to, or I would say trying to come to terms, or maybe trying to avoid having to think about coming to terms with what he's done to his brother. So, I think with all that being said, we've done all the investigative work we can do here, so let's carry on. And you may notice that, of course, we finished that previous mission, and we are immediately thrown into this conversation with Dr. Archer. And, we actually, will not be heading back to the Normandy until we are done with Overlord as a whole. So this is, a string of missions here, for that reason.
Now.
The other stations are all within driving distance. Best of luck, Commander.
So we can drive over to them, as he's saying. Get some credits as well. Oh, well, these are basically the updates from us, having finished the previous mission. But, it's like I was saying, that means we will be driving to those other stations using the ship we were commenting about previously, wherever it has gone. There you are, the Hammerhead. So, yeah, we're back here where we are first starting off. So it was not a coincidence that we saw it previously. We should probably save here, though. And if we take a look at our journal, we will see Overlord Atlas Station. So we need to travel to the Vulcan and Prometheus stations to override the lockdown from each facility. Then we can get to the Atlas station. So we have 3 more stations to go to. So let's leave now and never come back. This message brought to you by Smeagol.
Commander, you need to find Vulcan and Prometheus stations and override the lockdown from each facility. Doesn't matter which one you hit first, but you can't enter Atlas Station until you've dealt with both. Also, keep an eye out for Cerberus security mechs. The VI has likely taken control of them. Archer out.
Okay. The weird heartbeat sounds kind of disturbing. Again, no map, and notably, once we get into the Hammerhead here, we cannot save, so hence why it is particularly important to make sure that you save preemptively before hopping in. So, well... that, like, just glare from the sun, or is that actually trying to tell us what direction to go in? Our objective? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. We also have what might be space cows? I think those are space cows. Confirmed, they are space cows. Which, of course, we saw back in Mass Effect 1, including the shifty-looking cow. Never trust a shifty-looking cow. But, this time round, at least, they appear to be not doing too much. Just take a little look around. I'm not sure if there's actually anything for us to loot over here or anything like that, per se, but just taking a peek. Just taking a peek. It is actually... Oh, it's saying we are getting closer to Prometheus Station. Did it say a different station before? Is this sort of like our way of choosing which station to go to next? Like one is over to the right? Yeah, and one's over to the left. So Vulcan Station's on this side, and Prometheus is over to that side. So he was saying Vulcan is the power station, Prometheus is the, I forget what he said the deal was with that. Let's go for Vulcan first, though. I think it might be marginally closer by the looks of things.
Geographic conditions indicate an aesthetically pleasing view nearby. Organic life forms may wish to take note.
Oh. Thank you? Ow. Referring to this? I think, and that might be our station right over there. But remember, the Hammerhead, unlike the Mako back in Mass Effect 1, when we crash into things, it does take damage. So we do need to be mindful of that. It is much more fragile. More mobile, yes. Also, while I say that, let me just re-familiarize myself with what it has going on. We've got the boost. We've got the jump. We've got the jump boost as well, potentially. Not to be confused with the boost jump. But is that actually where we go through? It might be. But there was something over here. Yeah, this is taking us further away, but there was definitely some stuff over here by the waterfall, I thought. Let's see. Ow, like that's the kind of thing that you'd like to try to avoid. Oh, was that telling us Prometheus Station over there? It might have been. Might have been telling us Prometheus Station anyway. Yeah, that, I'm thinking, is the place we're looking to go. I'm wondering if there's anything up here. You're saying we're still getting slightly closer, but I wonder... Other than weird sounds, might there be other stuff up here? Okay, that, I'm thinking is probably our station. Although it seems to be taking us in that... looking at our number, when it's going up, when it's going down. It's going down when we go in this direction. It's going up when we go in this direction. So what is this?
Scans indicate VI infection is present in nearby turrets.
Oh! Lovely. Fortunately, looks like we could outrange them. They only pop up when we get close enough to them, it seems. Oh, they are shooting at us. They are still shooting at us, though. Don't think we want to get in a direct firefight, because as I was saying, this thing, not so tanky. Not so tanky. Fortunately, it looks like they will maintain the damage whenever we re-engage with them. Let's try to pop in and out of range and take them out that way, and I imagine there's something over here. Yeah, I think that one's down. So it's just this more distant one now. Which, of course, we've only just recently started working on here. Can we dash backwards? I don't think we can. That just the sign of us hitting it, or was that actually taking it out? No, just hitting it. Almost down. Now I think we got rid of it? Question mark? No? Yes? Now it's down. Okay, that was weird. And okay, so what we see here is, well, something. it is... We scan it.
Emergency Cerberus data packet has been recovered. It
An
contains
emergency...
information on Project Overlord that other research cells need to review. Be alert for more packets in the area. 5 more remain.
Okay. Sure. Let's maybe not fall off the edge. That would probably be good. So there is a little bit of extra stuff here for us to loot in that case. Of course, now I'm going in the opposite direction, but the thing about that is, I believe those data packets, which we obviously just collected 1 of 6 of, they, once upon a time, in the original Mass Effect 2, I believe there was a achievement for that, getting all of them. I don't believe that achievement exists anymore in Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so, you know, you could make the case that perhaps it's not even worth bothering to track all that stuff down, but it exists, so it is an option. Let's see. Sure, we can hover over the water, no problem. No big deal. Is there anything over here on this edge, though? The opposite direction? This actually takes us closer to the station, which surprises me. I guess the station is down there. I don't think we can take this direct of a route, if you know what I mean. My guess is we have to go through this waterfall thing. I thought that jump was going to be sufficient, but apparently it was not. Oh. Okay, Hammerhead does not want to go down there, as it turns out. So, perhaps we do need a different route after all. Maybe we actually were having the right idea previously. I don't think this is anything but a drop-off that leads to instant death, but going in this direction, perhaps? Again, we do have those little markers popping up, which are, I think, kind of, sort of, trying to point us in the right direction, but, again, there's a sort of a strange loop to some of this stuff, it seems, where we can approach from different angles. Like, this is definitely, I think, going in the opposite direction, but this might be another place where, ooh, perhaps we can find another one of those data packets, because it looks similar to what we saw previously.
Detection. Enemy units nearby.
Yep. That is correct. Let's see, like, if we deliberately pop up here, do some of that, and then drop back down, that might be a recipe for success here. We are... Oh, dishing out damage. We are also taking a whole bunch of damage. Because, I'm hearing some alarms right now, which I don't think is a good thing. My guess is that is not a good thing. I don't know on this vehicle how it saves or does not save the amount of damage you've taken. Like, did we technically regenerate our shields or armor over time? Is that a thing? Or if we are on the brink of death before, does that mean we're on the brink of death right now? And if we get poked once, we're doomed? Possibly. Wouldn't necessarily rule it out, though. It's not very well aimed. Despite this guy almost being down here. I think it's just a little bit of a matter of patience. Okay, we may have destroyed that one, or might need one more hit. Looks like it may need one more hit. This one over on the right side, though, is definitely not down yet. In fact, we've basically not damaged it at all until just then. It's trying to shoot us from here, though I don't think it's really succeeding. So I'm guessing that the way this works is that we'll find a few of these sort of mini stations along the way, each of which will be guarded by some of these turrets. And whenever we find the turrets, that means that at one of these stations we'll get either another one of those data packs, or we'll get maybe some other kinds of resources. The turret should be down now. This looks like another one of those data packs right here. At least has the same appearance. thought I saw something else over here as well, though. Maybe I was just looking at that and thinking that might have been some resources as well, but nope. That is not anything either. We're technically now close to Prometheus Station because, as I was saying, we were deviating from the path a bit. I think that direction over there is where we were initially coming from. But, okay. Perhaps, I think I still want to try going to Vulcan first, for whatever that's worth. So rather than going in that direction, let's head back in this general direction, and let's see if we can actually find the quote-unquote correct direction. Maybe we'll be a little more deliberate in following where the arrow is trying to point us. Saying seems to be straight ahead. Oh, I think we have seen this much already, though. Oh, we went around that way before. Maybe that was only good for the little data packet and not much else. This looks like another, one of those stations perhaps where we might run into some of those turrets. At least has a very similar appearance to it. Just trying to see if there's anything hiding down there. Well, that might not even be a place we're supposed to go. So I'm a little reluctant to do that. Yeah, because we're getting very close now. I think I see something over there that has the glow to it that seems as though it's perhaps lootable. Is this our station? I think it may be. Question is... turrets? No turrets? Seemingly no. Yes to space cows, though, more importantly. I'm glad to say. Okay, so let's check this stuff out then. See if this is just another one of those data packets. So, is there any purpose to picking these up if there's no achievement for them in Legendary Edition? That I'm not sure about. That I'm not really sure about. Okay, so now we can exit from Vulcan Station. So there's your indication that, yes, we have indeed made it at least close enough to head on out. So let's do that. Okay, and now we get the chance, although we have not gone to the Normandy in between these various stations, we do get the chance to repick our team. And on this occasion, I think that actually will be somewhat relevant. We might want to go with a slightly different setup. Last time, we focused on going with basically anti-shields was the general overarching idea, as we ran into several of the mechs along the way. So, or rather, several of the Geth along the way, and they were very shield-heavy with their defenses. So I think we might want to mix it up a little bit here, though, and go with slightly less of a shield-oriented team. Perhaps we'll still want at least a little bit of that going on, but maybe instead we go for something like, how about a mixture of anti-shields and anti-armor, so probably having between Zaid, Miranda, and Kasumi, one of them for shields, and then either Jacob or Morden as our armor specialist. It's been a long time since we last used Jacob. He's mostly here when it comes to anti-armor stuff for his squad incendiary ammo. So we already use him. That means we're probably not going to want to use someone else who has squad ammo, which would mean if we go Jacob, that probably rules out going Zaid. So maybe we go Jacob plus Kasumi. We'll use Jacob's incendiary ammo for the armor damage and Kasumi's overload for the anti-shields. Let's go for that. I think Jacob is the person we've gone the longest without using, which is perhaps not a coincidence, but we'd like to get the chance, if and when we can, to work him in. Alright, and with that being said, we do... we almost have leveled here, but we've... 3 skill points? Did we level up? No, we were saving up for charge, I think is what was happening, right? So, I think we hold off for now, because we may be about to level up after this. Jacob, though, really? Oh, maybe we used you briefly before, because I'm surprised you have 0 points remaining. Whereas Kasumi actually has 2. And for her, okay, so we can't afford to get up to Overload 3 with her at the moment, because that'll cost 3 points. We can go for her passive and at least get 1 point in that. question as to whether do we just not even try to do that, and or at least, basically similar to what we've been doing with our charge. Do we perhaps deliberately wait until she has some more points so we can instead prioritize the Overload? So the Overload is, of course, just additional damage against synthetics particularly, and with this level, gives us the ability to also overheat weapons. So even against non-synthetic enemies or non-shielded enemies, does still give us some additional benefits there. Whereas getting to the first level of Master Thief will give her a little bit more health, weapon damage, and faster recharge time. Most importantly, meaning more Shadow Strikes and Overload as well. Getting that back more quickly could be helpful too. But I'm thinking we try to get a little bit greedy here, and we wait it out and see if we can get up to Overload 3. That'd be fantastic if we could. So I think we stick with this for now. And then, other than that, I mean, Jacob have hand cannon, plasma shotgun. Yeah, it's fine. Carnifex. Then same with you with the Carnifex. Nothing else on the SMG. For us, only real question would be, do we want to switch our heavy weapon? And I don't really think we need to. So, guess we'll stick with the arc projector. Sure. Because this time, we're not talking about Geth. We're talking about mess. And that's one way to take him out. Okay, so we are actually back in the Hammerhead, for what it's worth.
I advise extreme caution. Vulcan Station is our geothermal plant. They stopped reporting it shortly after the experiment.
Oh.
Scanning area. Analysis. VI infection is present within plant machinery. Advise caution.
Okay. So we came in through this way. I don't think there's any going back at this point, though. Okay, it's an invisible wall. I was gonna say, can we even do it if we tried? But, this looks like our point of no return here. Oh no, there's a ramp, for what it's worth. But, of course, we did do the Firewalker missions previously, so we have some familiarity maneuvering around with our Hammerhead. You can, however, actually choose to do Overlord first before you do Firewalker, in which case you get the Hammerhead, and you don't get the full introduction to it. You don't get the tutorial, so it's like, what is this, and how does it work? But, well, I bring that up because this time round we have a little more of the platforming-like stuff to do on this occasion. Because, well, needless to say, we probably don't want to be landing in lava. Oh, this isn't good. This looks like the kind of thing that we want to avoid. So let's see. Whoa! Hit the ceiling. Stop me. Okay. That.
Scanning area. Analysis. Vending stations provide adequate velocity to enhance vehicle lift.
Oh, so what you're saying is this is not something that deals damage to us as much as it is something that will give us an extra boost. Alright, I'm on board. Hold on just a second. This one never go off? I was waiting for that one to go off. Whoa, okay, maybe not the boost I was looking for, though. There we go. First try. Okay, anything sneaky hit over here? Doesn't look like it. That's a new little thing we can do where when we got the additional support of the vents there, we can get an even larger boost. Hello, Dolly. Don't mind us. Obviously, we don't really want to be fighting this thing in an extended firefight, because I think we lose in that situation. So they're really trying to poke our head in and out of this cover and use our mobility to our advantage. And you're asking yourself, why is this called a Cerberus turret? Bear in mind, this is a Cerberus facility, or a series of Cerberus facilities that we are breaking into here. And, this is the security system for those stations. It's just that the VI has hacked it. Okay, we can go left, we can go right. Well, that doesn't look pleasant. Maybe we go left? Oh, especially because we got this. And this is some iridium. And that's it. Just a little side area with a little bit of bonus resources. Good thing we nabbed them. Okay. And, well.
Scanning area. Analysis. Debris field provides adequate support for vehicle.
Alright, so. Here's where things get interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Frogger. We don't want to touch the lava, of course, but we need to get across. We do not have the kind of jumping capabilities to make it all the way across, though. So, what we need to do is jump onto these little pieces of debris, these little platforms, if you will, and use them to make our way across. And, well, I'm not sure that they are stable enough to hold us for an extended period of time, so it may be the situation where once we do hop on one of them, we need to very quickly make a move to the next one. So, here goes nothing. And yes, I do believe that started falling down. Rather not, you know, stick around to investigate, but there we go. Not so bad, but, we're going into the geothermal station, then I'm afraid that may not be the last of those types of situations for us. Let's check this out now. Hold on. Give us like a larger boost. That'd be, hold on. Fully recharge. And then go boom. We've done it. Confirm. Anything else hiding over here, perhaps? No. No, there is not. Just figured we'd check. What about this side?
Thruster velocity is inadequate to clear the wall ahead.
Oh. So what you're saying is... we gotta get out. So unlike previously, in the Firewalker missions that we were talking about when we were doing our tutorial for the Hammerhead, where we quite literally spent the entire mission in the Hammerhead. No, we will truthfully get out on foot here, at least for a little bit. And so it is relevant who we chose to take with us. So let's save now that we're on foot, because again, you can't save when you're in the Hammerhead. So in the interest of not having to potentially redo this entire mission, let's make sure that we're saving fairly frequently. Okay, and well, this is the power station. So take that for whatever that means. That sounds like enemies. Enemies that I was gonna say I did not yet see, but we should definitely activate this ammo effect, and then blast these guys to smithereens. Okay, well, so Jacob has pull, remember? It has been a while since we last saw him. Oh, well, soon he's just gonna casually take one of these guys out. There's Shadow Strike. And then, this guy, I mean, I'm not really sure we want to be charging him right now, but also not lose our fields if we don't have to, preferably. Alright, Jacob is rushing in, but, I mean, now we can pull it. This might actually be the, well, we failed in our attempt to pull. We also took a surprising amount of damage there. So one moment, please. But, yeah, we have not done much pull of our own, but, we can do it, Jacob can do it. And it's a way to, give us a little more crowd control, because that is, we've been using Kasumi a lot, but that is one thing that she doesn't really have much of, is crowd control, besides the, potential stagger effects of the Overload. But, actually, disabling someone for an extended period of time, I mean, not that her Overload isn't capable of doing that, but is that a person? It was a person.
Warning. Pressure levels in valve A3 have exceeded maximum threshold. Manual control is required.
Okay, well, before we do that, let's check out this research log.
Engineer's log. We've registered
It's not Archer.
a spike in energy consumption. My technicians traced it to the experiment underway at Atlas Station. We're trying to raise them now.
Warning. Pressure
Okay. So that's the valve control. Before we look at that, though, let's see if there's, perhaps anything out here hiding that we might want to loot, although I'm not seeing it, so I think we're good here. So, okay. Something there, but I don't think so. Let's check it out. Okay, we do need to hack it. That is devious how close together those all are. Okay, that makes it a little bit trickier. Fortunately, those are right next to each other. Okay, we got that and that. Very indirect route. There we go. Okay. Sure. That give us a new way forward. Oh, brace yourself for annoying sound effects. DI is displeased with us. Okay, my guess. We still have enemies out here. We really have a peaceful way back? Skeptical. I'm skeptical. It is seeming like that is the case at the moment. So, I mean, we didn't really find much of anything in terms of looting here, which makes me a little surprised. But, I don't think there was anything, because we were pretty thorough. So, I mean, we could exit and save again, but I think there's not a huge difference between our previous save and this save here. Alright, let's see. May not have quite got enough on that jump. Oh, we're good. We're fine. We're fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, last time when we got up to a place like this, we of course were quickly greeted by a turret. Let's brace ourselves for that potential eventuality. Thought I saw something lootable over here as well. Yeah, there's the turret. Right on cue. Hey, buddy. Can we actually hit you from here? Can you hit us from here? Yes, you can. Or at least you can try. Thought we could outrange you. There we go. Generally, I think that is the case. That is really our greatest strength in many ways of this vehicle. Is that even if we are fragile, we can at least outgun people from a long distance. Okay, now let's see what this is all about. More iridium. Okay. Not bad. Let's see, and I see more lava, which makes me think we might be back to Frogger territory. I'm afraid we probably are. And, where exactly are we trying to go? Hold on. I did not determine where we were trying to go when I did that. It almost looks like there's something over there. I mean, like, is that actually the glow from a resource, or is that just the glow from heat? I think it's just the glow from heat. I think we're actually looking to get all the way down there, where that sort of, you can kind of see it, that pole, and there's a bit of a light over there is, and you can see there's sort of a bit of a landing zone. So not only are we trying to get across, we're also trying to get down further in that direction, which does mean there's a little bit more, it's a little more complicated to do this one. There are two factors we need to consider. So, not only do we need to hop back and forth, we also need to make sure that we're progressing forward. So I'm thinking, let's see, what is the best strategy here in that case? We're definitely going to want to go for this first one first. And it's easy to go from this one to that one to that one. The question becomes, you know, once we've done that, can we go to the next one there? Maybe that's the answer. We go forward. Otherwise, if we're forced to retreat, then that's, you know, not particularly good. He says as he slowly creeps forward and almost accidentally falls into lava. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So I think it's this first. Then it's this. Then it's this. And ideally it's this, if we can. And we actually have that little area off to the side, which may have saved us, because there it is. We've made it, and in truth, wasn't so bad. We had to go off to the side a bit, but since that was seemingly a viable option, it worked out very well for us. Alright, now that we're over here, though. Keep our eyes peeled for any more turrets. I wouldn't rule that out. Okay, ooh, and we have this Frogger area over here. We have this boosty jump area over here. And we have this step series over here. And strange as it sounds, this specific spot, I just got like a sense of deja vu. I remember going through this in my first Mass Effect 2 playthrough. Not so much the other stuff here, other than the crazy sound effects, but this specific spot, for whatever reason, I can't say I remember much of the details other than just that I remember having this stuff here. Can we actually make it up here? Yes, and there's a turret. In fact, there are 2 turrets. Hold on. So, there's some stuff over there. Now, I do wonder if perhaps there might be a couple of ways over there. Can we blast you like this? We can. This may not be a terrible idea, then. Damaging you this way. It seems like, you know, what are the chances that they're actually going to be able to hit us? Or deal any significant damage while we're popping up ever so briefly. Gives us just enough of a window. Hit you with a few shots. So I do like this strategy. Whereas previously I was going to say maybe we try to see if there's an alternative angle that we can approach from that might give us a better way to hit these guys, but no. I do like this. As I think is usually the case here with this Hammerhead, name of the game is just gotta be patient. Whittle away at your enemy's HP, at least in this case where we're clearly outgunned. Patience is our friend. That may have been enough to take it out. Yep. Based on that sound effect, I think it definitely was. And then we've got Iridium here actually 800, whereas previously I thought we were only getting 400 per scan. Alright, so that was the little stairs section. That's one part. Then we have this super jump. Then we have Frogger. So if we're trying to do Frogger... Okay, I keep on... You know what it is? I'm pressing the zoom in button as if I had a weapon out. And that zoom in button in the Hammerhead does that. And that, when you're looking out over a pit of lava, could get you fried pretty quickly. But what I was trying to suggest was that it looks like we may be trying to go over there and working against the grain with the Frogger tiles and you know, working against their momentum. Does seem possible, but let's check out what this is first. Let's make sure we don't miss anything. Come on. Get a fresh jump here, fully charged up. Wary of potential signs of additional turrets, but at least as of right now, it just looks like another scanning spot, really. With no people trying to shoot at us. Well, I'll take it. Anything else over here? Well, the pit of lava, as it turns out, is also over here. And if we really wanted to just make matters more difficult for us and make so we had to cover more ground across that pit of lava, then we could go that way. I suppose that might even be a way to shower the turrets from over there with some missiles, though they might not pop up from that range. So, okay, I think that means we are just left with trying to cross through this lava pit here. And I actually kind of like the way this is looking right now. We go for this one, followed by this one, followed by this one, followed by this one, followed by this big one. Large jump we need to make, but looks like we got it. And this is another relatively big jump. Maybe one here. Slightly bigger one here. Go here, and then I think we can make our move now to this side. And is there anything else over here, or do we just drop out now? Looks like we can exit the Hammerhead.